Alright, so I'm gonna make a video here, a little guide to phase one against Dark Nihilus using JTR with C3PO. Had a couple of requests from guildmates and shardmates for a video like this. So I'm just gonna talk through the general strategy and show you guys what's up. So here we go. Of course, start off with secret intel. I'm always going to stealth BB-8. I have the second Zeta on BB-8 that allows him to gain that extra heal. So this is a really bad start right here. This is worst case scenario. I didn't get anything to apply. It's fine. It's actually still doable. So I'm going to go ahead and call C3. Okay, so there we go. We got our expose. That's really all that matters. I mean, speed down would have been great, but we don't need it with this team. C3PO is gonna give JTR enough turn meter here. So C3PO's potency is pretty high. I might be able to remove some turn meter here, put down confuse or expose. We'll see. Okay, there we go. Cool. So I got a confuse on him. Gonna do some more turn meter removal. I'm not gonna use R2's burning. This is might be a little different than other guys you've seen. I don't want to risk not getting this next expose on him because of course this expose is going to pop, so I don't want to risk that. Not to mention it's going to give him extra speed and tenacity, so there's just no real reason to do it other than removing 5% turn meter with JTR's leadership. It's just not worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill this ad right here. We're gonna use the special. Okay, so cool. So now we're gonna remove turn meter again. Gonna call C3PO to assist. So I'm gonna use C3PO's basic. His basic's probably not gonna do anything right here. But if I use his mass assist, that's gonna give Darth Nihilus a ton of turn meter and speed. So once again, it's not worth it. Okay, so you can see his turn meter is pretty high, but my JTR also has high turn meter. I'm gonna stealth BB-8 again here, and there we go. And what do you know? Okay, so he's almost at 0% turn meter. I haven't even hit him all that often. I have Illuminated Destiny here, so we're in good shape. Like I said, that first sequence of events was literally worst case scenario, and we're still recovered just fine. So once again, I'm not going to use his mass assist here. It would give him a lot of turn meter, and JTR's already at full turn meter. That's really the character I'm most worried about always having turn meter. Because the key to these runs is just spamming her turn meter removal or second special. And so she's already at full turn meter because of Illuminated Destiny, so there's once again, no reason to use it. This is actually kind of bad, so we didn't get an expose on him here, which might mean he's probably gonna take a turn right after this move. Yeah, he's gonna take a turn right after this, so not ideal. I only got 10% damage from his first turn, which is pretty bad. I normally like to get, excuse me, 10%, 0.10%. I normally like to get around 0.5% from the first turn. But these runs are very RNG based, and not having all that much damage at the beginning, I can still recover from that midway through. So that's perfectly fine. As I said, I'm always stealthing BB-8. So right here is actually where I'm going to go ahead and use his mass assist. Why am I going to use his mass assist? Well, JTR is below 50% turn meter. Darth Nihilus doesn't have that much turn meter right now. He's not going to take a turn. Yeah, he's going to gain a lot of speed from me doing this, but I'm going to get JTR close to, if not taking the next turn from this. And, then I'll be able to remove turn meter from him and get everything rolling again. So let's go ahead and I don't think any of my characters they all have translation. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there you go. What do you know? She's at full turn meter. And she actually didn't have her. Ooh, this is bad. This is no bueno. Okay. See, so that was once again this run isn't going that well, which is fine. You can see some of the things that can happen that are bad. I lost track of the cooldown on JTR's turn meter removal special. I thought it was up and it wasn't. So we were not able to get Illuminated Destiny off. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mass Assist right here. Now, I didn't get any exposes, which is pretty bad. Really bad. I'm having really bad RNG this round, but the good news is... Okay, well, that was horrible. I thought BB-8 was going to get to go, but he didn't. So... And getting C-3PO to take a turn right after Darth Nihilus has is pretty big sometimes for these runs. Good God, this is some bad RNG. Alright, so none of my characters are about to take a turn. Darth Nihilus is about to take a turn. I'm gonna have to roll the dice here and call the Mass Assist and hope that and I didn't quite get her to a full turn. So this just so you guys know, so I mean this round is basically a bust. I'm about to restart here in a second. Generally speaking, when he's at the 11th turn or the 10th turn, I'd like to have at least 5% down. So I'm behind pretty big here. So assuming so what just happened right there is exactly what I wanted to happen one sequence of events ago, where I call that Mass Assist. There's kind of a turn meter coin flip between the two, and then JTR goes and removes that turn meter. So that's best case scenario. Sometimes you're just gonna have to flip the coin and hope that you get that good luck. And so I'm not going to call the Mass Assist here. Once again, I haven't been paying attention. But JTR has almost had a full turn. I got plenty of turn meter on my other characters. So, yeah, it would have been pointless to call the Mass Assist there. So, I'm going to go ahead and stealth BB-8 here again. I mean, R2 is going to take damage, but it really doesn't matter because every time BB-8 evades, he's just going to heal the other droids back up. Okay. So this run is pretty bad overall as far as things that have gone wrong for me. I mean, there's just about everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But that being said, I mean, we're still a third of the way through the run. Not including in going past Enrage, and I'm still almost I'm on pace to hit around 15%, which is still pretty good for this team. It's not it's not ideal. Generally speaking, I like to get around 18%. But that being said, we'll just keep going here and see what happens. So man, ever since they reworked, Darth Nihilus to make his Annihilate more predictable, I mean, that was the best thing that could have ever happened to this team, obviously, because it's so easy to predict when he's going to go and, when he's going to use Annihilate and all that stuff. So JTR, low turn meter here. My other character's at low turn meter. So here's where we use the Mass Assist. And so you see his turn meter is a little higher, but he has expose. So if I hit with Resistance Trooper here, get another expose, remove 5% turn meter, BB-8's about to go, I might be able to get JTR to. Oh, well, there we go. Illuminate Destiny. Perfect. Now I lost that Expose, which is pretty bad, but that's fine. So I could use his special here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use his basic, because Darth Nihilus just took a turn, his tenacity is going to be low. I'll probably be guaranteed to reply another Expose. I think I did. I don't know if it was resisted or not. I think it actually was, but that's fine. Darth Nihilus with another turn to annihilate, which is good. Okay, have to call the Mass Assist here. No other option. We lost our Expose, and there we go. So really, as you guys can see, kind of the common thread between all of my decisions is, whether or not JTR, what her turn meter is at, and trying to get her to turn meter, her turn meter all the way up to 100%, getting her to take a turn, is more or less the secret to these runs. So this is actually a really tough decision. This goes to show, I mean, these runs are possible without keeping track of where everyone's cooldowns are at. If I had been keeping track of BB-8's cooldowns here, I could potentially use C-3PO's Mass Assist, if I knew that BB-8 had Illuminated Destiny coming up. But since I don't know that, I'm going to go ahead and use Unbreakable Will on C-3PO, because I want him to get annihilated. And what do you know? We made the wrong decision, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. It happens. Not every run is going to be, 9.5 million, 10 million. Oh boy, his turn meter jumped up there, didn't it? We might actually be able to. Ooh, see, that's perfect. You'll love to see that. It's actually, this is kind of bad. In hindsight, I almost might have just should have let him take a turn there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now, obviously, I have to use Unbreakable Will and R2-D2. That could have gone better for us. We were able to squeeze out some extra attacks there, obviously, because of the sequence of events that happened. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mass Assist here. And Resistance Trooper's gonna take a turn. There we go. See, that's what these runs are all about. See, that actually didn't even matter right there. I'd hit him so many times, even with that turn meter removal. He still took a turn immediately, which is pretty crazy. So you definitely using Unbreakable Will on R2 is pretty not ideal. Because I like calling C-3PO to assist. So instead, if R2 comes out of Unbreakable Will before, so I'm going to save Defiant Slash here, because if Darth Nihilus is about to take a turn, I'm actually going to want to call R2 to assist. I actually might just going to call R2 to assist right now, get that foresight on him. As soon as R2 takes his turn, like he did there, I'm going to stealth. So, just gonna, there we go, okay. So yeah, all that to say, he's obviously, R2 is very, flimsy in some ways, especially right after he's been annihilated, and he's at red health. So as you can see, I mean, we're still on track to get around 15% in this run before enrage hits. And I mean, generally speaking, I would say as a general rule, you can get maybe 2% or so if you play it right after enrage. So I mean, I'm not going to play it to enrage because damage is not for another hour for my guild. So really, I'm kind of doing this all for nothing in some ways, which is fine. So that being said, I won't be able to show you a final damage number because of that, but I will record another video later where I do go into enrage, and you can see. I'm not going to use the I could use the mass assist here. I'm not going to. I don't think. I also don't really want to use basic. It's not going to do anything. So it's going to do that. Darth Nihilus is going to take a turn here in a second. But got that off. So he's going to take a turn here. Yeah. So normally I would stealth with R2, but I really need the expose on him right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to use the mass assist here. JTR is a full turn meter. So I would say, I kind of touched on this earlier. I mean, just a general rule, if JTR is at turn meter or close to full turn meter, don't use the mass assist. If she's low on turn meter, you kind of have to just roll the dice. That really stunk. I was only 2 away from using from getting Illuminated Destiny. That was not cool. Lost my expose. So here, have to use the mass assist here, no doubt. I mean, you just see how much turn meter that gives JTR. I mean, it's pretty insane. This is really bad what just happened here. He basically just got almost a free turn. R2 is, close to dying. I might even, so I'm going to stop the run here in a second. And then I'll record a better video later once the actual raid. Like, as I said, I would have restarted this after about, the 3rd turn or so. If I kept going, I'd probably get around, I'd say to probably 84% or so. Isn't a bad run. It's pretty, that's pretty decent. That's better than the vast majority of people in your guild are going to get. And this, like I said, was a bad run. But yeah, like I said, I'll record another video later. I'm not gonna keep going because there's not really much point to it at this point. I guess from here I would probably kill this ad, see if I can get one of these other characters to get Unbreakable Will. I don't really want to use Unbreakable Will on BB-8. You definitely don't want to use Unbreakable Will on Resistance Trooper or JTR. So really, C3PO, R2. C3PO ideally, R2 second, BB-8 can work as a third. The only time you want to use Unbreakable Will on Resistance Trooper and JTR is after Enrage, basically. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Like I said, I'll record a better video later so you can see how a good run looks. But yeah, thank you for watching and take care.